So when making the home template, we initiated a bunch of pages just to fill up the navigation menu. And here's what an initiated page looks like. Okay, well, we have two choices now. We can start a column from scratch. But we're going to go ahead and clone the home page. Now putting in C3, which is the ID. Here's our new clone page. Now really we want just the template portion, so we're going to the containing column of the page specific content. So here on this clone column we're going to choose the mirror release options, and from there we can choose any post type. We're going to choose new column, hitting submit. And now it's referred to as a mirror released column, and it behaves identical to a normal column. And now we're going to start making our page specific content right in it. Add two new posts. That's a new text post, and then we're going to create a left image, right hand text. We just refreshed the styling. Okay, there they are. So now we're creating new content. And now we're going to paste some text in this text image post. And we're going to select part of the text and then use TinyMCE to wrap it with the tags dialed up in the page configurations, and we'll take a closer look at what those are later. And now we're going to adjust the configurations. The editor itself gives us complete control over images and how they respond. With each post there's a post options section, and for images there's a post image configs as well. So here you can change the relative width ratio of image to text, and then whether the image width will maintain or scale as the width decreases on smaller devices. And if it is set on scaling, you can optionally set a minimum width for the image after which it maintains width. So what we're setting up here. So now we're adding a couple new posts. Here we're going to wrap our text in an H1 tag. Notice in this text post I just pasted in that a couple of the headings already have the H4 tags wrapped around them. And this is to show that if I paste them in the text box directly without using TinyMCE, they're preserved. And then for the other two in the same text, we're going to go back and use TinyMCE to wrap the headers around it. So either way works. And here we're configuring another image similarly as before. Other options. You can change the size of the images and the cache will respond accordingly. The system uses a dynamic image response. At any time you can adjust image quality or change the cache directory sizes. Images will reload, making it easier to adjust the balance of image size, image quality with download speed, server size, and bandwidth. And here we're uploading our image. We're also going to check the do not resize because the image is not much bigger than the size. It's a small image. And we're going to do the same thing for the second image. And here we're going to go back in and use Tiny MCE to wrap those with an H4 header. So we're almost done. Now notice there's an open format. I can edit as many fields as I need to, and then hit any submit button. The idea is it enables faster editing and an overview, and I can put new posts in any position. Now here we're setting the width of an image in the post options because we don't want to use the column width. We want to narrow that particular image. We'll upload the final image. Now we could publish each post individually, but here's an option to express publish any post within a particular column. Now we can view it and we'll see what it looks like on a normal website. Now that bottom image, we're going to increase the padding. There wasn't enough. And refresh, and there's our final site. Here's what it looks like on mobile devices. Now notice that above 400px our headers would share space with the text, but below 400px our headers occupied the full row. And the H4s have a special class. Special class is a feature of this system which enable custom responsive web design, custom styling, and that styling can be responsive depending on the viewport, which we just demonstrated. Now here we just went to the page options and we're looking at the special classes and tag options. There are 6 H tag options. There's another dozen special class options, any one of which can be styled the way that we wish. Now we're looking at a quick summary of how these special classes are styled for a quick review. And if we look at the H4, it has a width set, a width, a float, padding, color, font size, font weight. It also has a media query max width 400px, and that accounts for the particular width response of the H4. At a max width of 400px, the width becomes 100%. Now what we're going to do is go down to the advanced styles and change it so it does a width 100% at 450 instead of 400. That'll give us a little more text on the left before our header actually breaks to a full width. So that's full width right there. And now the text appears next to the header, and that's at 450. So you can customize it the way you want relatively easily.